In Georgia, early voting starts next week, and the battle for the governor's mansion is just beginning. No incumbent, no runway, just a sprint.
Well, candidates, they're crisscrossing the state right now, fighting to make the first cut. Some of the major players, they were at a candidate forum in Cobb County today. Atlanta News First, Abby Kastouris shows us.
What jumps out was the urgency on the stage. Candidates know the voters are going to start locking in their picks. They pitch themselves to one industry driving Georgia's economy. This is the big push. Early voting starts next week, and every candidate is racing to define themselves first.
Authentic.
I'm honest.
Common sense. Effective.
I just like to win.
Aware.
One of these candidates will be Georgia's next governor. The Georgia Association of Manufacturers hosted Tuesday's forum. Manufacturing adds $77 billion to Georgia's economy, supporting nearly 500,000 jobs statewide. Same questions: energy, taxes, regulations, workforce, but the candidates' pitches were different.
So as governor, I'm going to speak up and speak out.
Democrat State Representative Derek Jackson leaned on his military and corporate background. Democrat former Labor Commissioner Michael Thurman argued 4 decades in public service means he knows how to grow the state responsibly.
And a good job is the connective tissue.
Democrat and former state senator Jason Estevez wants to tap into the state's surplus, driving down child care costs and expanding public transportation.
I want to give the hardworking people of the state a fair shot.
Former Republican Lieutenant Governor, now Democrat Jeff Duncan, claimed the experience insider lane.
I've got perspective. The perspective to know what it's like to be a small business owner.
Republican Attorney General Chris Carr, pro-business, focused on strengthening the pipeline into skilled trades.
I wouldn't take away tax credits.
Republican Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger stuck to jobs and growth, brushing off polls showing him trailing.
There's always going to be a lane for me.
Republican Lieutenant Governor Burt Jones argued for cutting tax incentives.
My goal was to get us to zero on the state income tax.
While healthcare CEO Rick Jackson, the self-funded outsider, pushed low taxes and deregulation.
Well, first of all, I don't like the federal government telling us anything from my standpoint.
Former Atlanta Mayor Keisha Lance Bottoms was not in attendance. Her campaign says there was a scheduling conflict. Early voting starts next week, and the primary is less than a month away. In Cobb County, I'm Abby Kastouris.